Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Node.
Washington calling David Harding, counter-spy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great Gildersleeve.
Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet. Gunsmoke.
The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into a time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum.
Well, I hope you're ready to spend some time snickering, laughing, all that sort of stuff, because we're going to head to Wistful Vista, 79 to be precise, 79 Wistful Vista, the home of Fibber McGee and Molly. This episode, starring Jim and Marion Jordan, was originally broadcast November 13th, 1945.
The Johnson Wax Program with Fibber McGee and Molly. The makers of Johnson Wax products for home and industry present Fibber McGee and Molly, written by Don Quinn and Phil Leslie, with music by Billy Mills Orchestra. Well, the people at 79 Wistful Vista bought a car a few weeks ago, and it's just been delivered. And the master is at this moment offering to tutor the little woman for her degree of FSD, front seat driver. As we meet, Fibber McGee and Molly.
Now then, before you start actually learning to drive, Mrs. McGee, there are certain things you got to know. Elementary things, like traffic regulations, driving courtesy, rules of the road, and all stuff like that there.
All right, dearie.
Good. Now, suppose you were in the left-hand lane and you wanted to turn right. What would you do?
Put both hands on the right-hand side of the steering wheel and yank down.
Oh, no. You can't make a right-hand turn from a left-hand lane. It's illegal. You got to fix it.
Oh, McGee, it's that new lady next door. Come in.
Good day. Have you done any boxing, Mr. McGee?
Oh, I've shuffled around a bit, sis. Nothing professional. Why?
Well, my cousin, Punchy McClatchy, the prize fighter, is looking for a sparring partner. He has a big fight coming up next month.
What heavenly days. Mr. McClatchy's 60 pounds heavier and 10 inches taller than my husband. It'd be murder.
Yes, we're trying to build up his confidence. Think it over, will you, Mr. McGee? We pay $2 a round and your insurance premiums.
Well, that's the best offer I've had since 1918 when they offered me $30 a month to fight the German army.
I wonder if she's his manager.
I don't know, but he can use one. All McClatchy's brains are in his knuckles. That round thing up there between his shoulders is just to keep his ears from chafing each other. That guy has spent more time on the canvas than Mona Lisa. He's so dumb.
Oh, listen, never mind him. Let's get to my driving lesson.
Oh, okay.
Now, how about signals, dearie? When do I put my hand out for what?
Look, Tootsie, you're a woman.
Thank you.
And after I teach you to drive, you'll be a woman driver.
Yes?
And women drivers aren't supposed to know about signals. It ain't expected of them. When a woman driver sticks out her hand, it's because A, she wonders if it's raining, B, she's got a new diamond ring, or C, her nail polish is still wet.
Now, just a minute, McGee. I've known some pretty good women drivers. There isn't a man in Wistful Vista who drives as carefully as Mrs. Carstairs.
Carstairs?
Why, certainly. I rode downtown with her yesterday, and she stayed right in the safety zones all the way.
Well, this may take a little longer than I'd planned. Now, look, the first thing you do when you get into a car is...
Come in. Oh, hello, Dr. Gamble.
Hello, Molly. And good day to you, Moose Jaw. Am I interrupting a family tete-a-tete or something?
No, McGee's just started to teach me to drive, Doctor.
Yeah, we're starting from scratch, Arrowsmith. If you'll take a look at our fenders at the end of the week, you'll see what I mean.
I am very sorry to hear about this, my friends, although you will probably be interesting case histories for my book.
Heavenly days, Doctor. Are you writing a book?
Yeah. He's writing a book entitled How to Remove Tonsils or I'd Cut Your Throat for $100.
No, I I am preparing a semi-scientific work on the effect of the internal combustion engine on the human race.
Oh.
How the automobile has changed our lives from the standpoint of health.
Yes, it's been a wonderful thing, hasn't it? Gets the doctors to their patients so much faster.
That is a minor point, my dear. The human body, such as it is, was designed to function best when man walked on all fours with the internal organs suspended from the spinal column. Then man started walking upright because, I suppose, he found he could get into telephone booths better that way.
No. He quit walking on all fours, Doc, because stuff kept falling out of his coat pocket.
That's an interesting theory, Mouseface. Anyway, no sooner had men learned to walk upright than some practical joker invented the automobile.
Yes?
And now any person who takes a long walk in the woods is considered a tramp, an eccentric, or just plain stupid.
When did you take your last walk in the woods, Doctor?
Yesterday afternoon. My car broke down and I had to hike 4 miles to a filling station. It was horrible.
Yeah. I'm afraid you're just a horse and buggy doctor at heart. And you could sell the buggy and just be a horse doctor.
Splendid idea. I'll start carrying a revolver in case you break your leg.
Oh, no, for goodness sake. McGee, if you're going to teach me to drive today, you better get with it.
Yeah, I'll say so. I will if this gabby old dreamer will go away.
You mean, my dear, that you're actually entrusting life and limb, if you'll pardon the expression, to this lead-footed linthead?
Say, he's a good driver, Doctor. Back in Peoria, he always used to take me for rides.
I'll say. Every moonlight night, people would see us go whizzing by and say, well, there goes little Molly Driscoll and her favorite swine.
No, not swine, dearie. You mean swain.
I do? I thought a swain was one of them long-necked birds that swim in the pond at the park.
That, my ignorant little Audubon, is a swan.
Why, certainly.
Oh, yeah, don't give me that stuff, kids. A swan is a Hindu fortune teller.
You're thinking of a swami.
Is he really, Doctor? You know, I always thought a swami was kind of an Italian sausage.
That is salami, and as far as you two fugitives from Guffey's Third Reader are concerned, Noah Webster lived in vain.
Well, if you're so smart, what did I say wrong in the beginning?
You said swine when you meant swain.
And a swine is a hog, and a hog on the road is a road hog, and accept my apologies. You were right in the first place.
Dr. Gamble, you have insulted me under my own roof. Take your hat, sir, and go.
I wasn't wearing a hat.
Wear one of mine.
Where is it? Right here in the hall closet?
There's no hats in there.
November 13th, 1945, Fibber McGee and Molly here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Thanks for tuning in to Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Visit our webpage, classicradio.stream. Now more of Fibber McGee and Molly going back November 13th, 1945, as Fibber keeps trying to teach Molly how to drive. Oh.
Are you sure you want to go through with this, dearie? Maybe it'll take weeks to teach me to drive.
Ah, Pata, I'm a born teacher. You know that.
Yeah. I remember you almost made a finished swimmer out of Uncle Dennis in one lesson.
Oh, that's right.
You shoved him off the dock and he went down like a bucket of beer at a political picnic.
Well, you can't teach a guy to swim when he's got the hiccups. Every time he'd head for the dock, he'd hiccup and shoot himself back 5 feet. Hey, that reminds me. Did I fill the car with gas?
Well, you went down to the filling station this morning.
Well, I hope it runs okay. That cheap gas ain't much good.
Well, then why do you buy it?
Don't cost as much.
Oh?
Besides, you don't usually have much of the high-test stuff. You know what he says when I ask him how the good gas was holding out?
What did he say, she asked, jabbing the parson slyly in the ribs.
He says he can fuel some of the people some of the time and some of the people all the time, but he can't fuel all the people all the time. Don't you get it, Molly? It's a play on words. I says fuel instead of fool, and that...
Ain't funny, McGee.
That's strange. It's one of my Standard Oil jokes. Well, throw a wrap over your soft shoulders and dangerous curves, Tootsie. I hear the call of the open road.
Well, you go get the car started, dearie. I want to run upstairs and get my coat.
Okay, Mommy. All right. Now, let me see. What do I need? Road maps, driver's license, identification. In a show like this, there's bound to be cop trouble. I guess that's everything. Nice day. It's a pretty good-looking bus we got at that. It ain't as long as Carstairs' limousine, but it's a heck of a lot higher. Besides, it's... Hey, what are you doing in my car, lady?
Oh, tisn't any lady, I betcha. It's just me.
Oh, hi, Teeny. What are you doing in there?
Oh, just playing, mister.
Oh.
I was pretending I was Joan Crawford, and my chauffeur was driving me to the studio to make a picture with Van Johnson and Clark Gable, and they were having a fight to see who would kiss me.
And who did, sis?
Robert Walker.
Van Johnson, Clark Gable, and Robert Walker, eh? Well, who do you like best?
Roy Rogers.
You're kind of playing the field, aren't you, sis?
Well, mister, when one is in the public eye, one must be romantic.
Mm-hmm.
One must all... Hey, mister, do you think I'm a good type for movies, do you,
Yes, I do, sis.
Gee, honest, mister?
Mm-hmm.
How do I do it, How do I get in the movie?
Oh, you mean you want to be an actress?
Sure. I want to have a lot of pretty clothes and have little thin eyebrows and be a pinup girl, and when the war's over, I'll travel all over.
Hey. When the what?
When the war's over, I'll travel all over.
Hey, where you been, sis? The war is over.
Yeah? You tried to get a hotel reservation lately, mister?
Oh, no, but gee whiz.
And when the war's over, I'll travel all over Europe and Indiana and take a tour at the Waldorf Astoria.
Sweet. You'll take a suite.
Okay, Roy Rogers. And then...
Now, look, sis, I don't like to be a barnacle on your dreamboat, but I got to use this car, you see. Would you mind climbing out of there?
Where you going, mister? Where you going? I got nothing to do. I can go with you, I bet you.
Well, you sure you can if you want to. I'm just taking my wife out for a driving lesson.
What?
I says I was just going to take my wife out for a driving lesson.
Oh, boy. That's all, brother. Let me out of here.
That silly kid. Daydreaming about getting into the movies. Hey, that reminds me, that casting director at 20th Century Fox never did mail my photographs back. He sent return postage on them, too.
Who are you talking to, McGee?
Huh? Oh, myself, I think. A little girl from across the street. You ready for your first driving lesson, kiddo?
I am.
Okay, get in. Now then, the first thing you do is insert the key in the ignition.
Well, that doesn't seem very complicated.
Then you step on the starter, see, like this. Doggone it, what do you suppose?
Well, now, when I rode with Dr. Gamble the last time, he turned the key in the ignition.
Oh, yeah. That's very clever of you, my dear. I just wanted to see if you were paying attention. Certainly we turn the key, like this. Then we step on the starter.
Well, what's wrong? We're not moving.
I haven't put it in gear yet. You see this lever here?
Yes.
That's the gear shift.
Yes.
Here's low, here's second, and here's high.
High.
This is reverse up here. When it wobbles like this, it's in neutral.
Well, let's drive with it in neutral for a while till I get used to it then.
You can't drive a car with the gears in neutral.
Well, then what do they have a neutral gear for?
That's for when you're not driving.
That's ridiculous, to put a gear on a car to use when you're not driving.
It ain't to use when you're not driving. It's when... Look, when it's in neutral, it's not in gear. When you put the car in... You can learn all that stuff later. Now watch carefully. We're ready to go. I put it in reverse, like this. Just ease it in gently. Dead.
Aren't you supposed to do something with the clutch or something first?
Ah, now you're catching on. You're absolutely right. Depress the clutch pedal. Put the gear shift lever in reverse. Release the clutch slowly while accelerating slightly, and we back gently out of the driveway.
Did you look to see if there were any cars coming?
No, there's never any traffic on this street during this time of the day.
Hey, where you going? Right up to the place.
Now, look here, Bud. You had plenty of time to see me backing out of my own driveway. It's yokel drivers like you that cause...
Calm yourself, pal. Calm yourself. There's no damage done.
Heavenly days, it's Mr. Wilcox.
You ought to be ashamed of yourself, Junior, whizzing through a residential neighborhood like that. You were doing at least 45 for sheer reckless driving.
Excuse me, pal. I've been parked at the curb here for 45 minutes. Been making out some sales reports. Feel my radiator. Stone cold.
My goodness, he's right, McGee.
Huh?
It's as cold as a penguin's pinky.
Well, he could have honked his horn, couldn't he? Sitting there in his car, paying no attention whatsoever to passing traffic. That's the kind of negligence that causes accidents, Junior. Let me see your driver's license.
Okay, here. Read that.
Johnson's Car New cleans and polishes your car in one simple application. Just apply and let dry, then wipe it off with a soft cloth and... Hey, this isn't a driver's license.
Well, no, that's what you might call a car owner's license. Because a man who takes pride in the appearance of his car is quite likely to keep it in good mechanical condition, too.
Yeah, but what that got to do with...
Did you ever hear of Statute 75, Paragraph 7, page 12 in the old book?
No. What statute is that, Mr. Wilcox?
It states definitely that the operator of a motor vehicle which is ipso facto protected from road grime, dampness, and dust with Johnson's Car New is per se under the law assumed to be a person of responsibility and intelligence, and is to be given the benefit of doubt in all controversies. And that's me, pal. Look at that beautiful showroom shine on my car. That's because Car New always...
How long has that statute been in effect, Mr. Wilcox?
Oh, it isn't in effect yet, Molly. I'm trying to get it through the city council right now.
Oh. Well, your car ain't hurt, if so. But who's going to pay for my dented fender?
You are, Facto.
Okay, Percy. Just wanted to have everything clear. Well, come on, Molly, get in.
See you later, Mr. Wilcox.
Okay, Molly. Going for a little spin, pal?
I'm teaching Molly how to drive, Junior. Want to come along just for laughs?
Look, pal, you see how my hand shakes? See how my face twitches? Have you noticed I have a slight limp?
Yeah, what's the matter with you?
I taught my wife to drive 6 months ago.
Oh.
I never got over it.
How'd you hurt your foot?
I kept sticking it through the floorboard and burning it on the engine. See you later, pal.
That boy, poor Junior. I'd be nervous, too, with a man from the finance company in the back seat. Shall we go, Molly?
Yes, let's.
I'll just drive around the quiet streets first, Molly. We can try out in downtown traffic later on. Now about emergencies. What would you do if a big 10-ton truck should shoot out in front of you?
Scream and scrounge down on the floor.
No. I mean if you were driving.
Oh, scream and jump over into the back seat.
Well, we'll take that up later. Now, when I...
McGee.
Hey.
Listen. I hear a siren.
Yeah. Must be a fire someplace. Let's go see this. Huh? Let's go see, huh? Where's the siren? Up ahead?
I can't tell. Listen now. No, it's off to the left there, isn't it?
No, I think it's over to the right. But we'll find it. I haven't chased a fire engine in years. Hang on, baby. Here we go.
Yeah, come on. Are we getting any closer to the fire, McGee?
Must be. I smell smoke.
That's just your best smoldering.
Huh?
You dropped some cigar ashes on it.
Must be getting closer, Molly. That siren is louder.
Try Maple Street, dearie. There hasn't been a fire on Maple Street for years.
Okay, hold your hat.
Well, that was a wild goose chase if I ever was in one. And I was just now.
Must be an awful big fire someplace, though, even if we couldn't find it. Hey, you know what? I can still hear them sirens. Listen.
Don't look now, dearie, but the long arm of the law is with us up to the elbow.
All right, Mac.
fire?
We don't know, Bud. We've been looking all over town for it. Did you hear all them sirens?
The siren was me, Mac.
Huh?
I've been chasing you for 20 minutes. You went through a red light at 14th Street.
How red was it?
Very red, lady. Like a sergeant's eyeballs at 5 a.m.
Oh, it's not sounding good for Fibber, is it? Fibber McGee and Molly, November 13th, 1945. The conclusion, along with an episode of Speed Gibson and the International Secret Police, when Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox continues. Thanks for tuning in to Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Now the conclusion of Fibber McGee and Molly. And they're talking to an officer. Oops, not good. November 13th, 1945.
And you passed a streetcar on the left at Oak and 12th.
Oh, I had to do that, Bud. I was driving in the car tracks and there's a switch there.
I see. Well, can you explain knocking over a small banana truck at Elm and Foster?
My goodness, I wish I'd have seen that. We need some bananas.
You have some, lady. You have about $35 worth. They're a little bruised, but they're all yours.
Now, just a darn minute, officer.
Your driver's license, please.
Here.
It's a little ragged, but my goodness, he's had it for 13 years.
What of it? He's only missed 4 renewals. Let me see your draft registration card, please.
Oh, flattery.
No, ma'am, O'Reilly. All right, Mr. McGee, what's your business?
Oh, my gosh. For 12 years, I've been afraid somebody would ask me that.
Never mind. You'll probably have to close it up for about 90 days anyway.
Huh?
Here you are. This summons is to be presented in traffic court not later than 9 a.m. Tuesday, November 27th.
Huh?
And it's been grand meeting you both. Good day.
Hey, Molly. You know what?
No, what?
I forgot to find out where the fire was.
Well, I must say, dearie, that as a lesson in driving, this was... Oh, there's Mayor Latrivia. Yeah, Mr. Mayor.
Oh, hi, Latrivia. You're just the guy I wanted to see.
Hello, Molly. Hello, McGee. What's the matter?
McGee just got a citation, Your Honor.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations, McGee. You certainly waited long enough for it. What's it for, the Battle of Chateau Thierry or Belleau Wood?
It ain't an army citation, Latrivia. One of your cops just give me it. Here, look at it.
You seem to be charged with everything except fratricide, arson, perjury, and jury tampering. What do you want me to do about this, McGee?
I want you to fire that cop. I want him transferred so far out in the sticks he'll have to trap muskrats to keep busy.
What did he do?
He gave us a summons. That's what he did.
Was he rude about it?
He was so darn polite, he made my blood boil. Don't he know how to act like a cop? Don't he ever go to the movies?
McGee, the officer was perfectly right. I washed my hands of the whole thing.
Certainly, Your Honor. Just walk inside, and it's to the right at the head of the stairs.
Yeah. And when you come back, Latrivia, I want to talk to you about
When I come back from where?
Washing your hands.
I'm not going to wash my hands, Mrs.
Oh,
McGee.
now if you're afraid of soiling our guest towels, Mr.
I'm
Mayor.
not afraid of soiling your towels, Mrs. McGee. I had no intention of washing my hands.
Oh, you didn't. Now, look here, Latrivia.
You listen to me, McGee. I'm not going to get into one of those wrangles with you. And I am not going to use my office as mayor to humiliate a police officer who was only doing his duty. Some of your infractions may have been overlooked, but speeding through the city streets at 42 miles an hour...
Can I help it if my accelerator sticks?
Yes, can he help it?
Oh, so your accelerator sticks.
Yes.
It does.
Ah, a likely story. That has been the guilty motorist's favorite alibi since the automobile was just a loud noise and a bad smell.
Okay, Latrivia, if you don't want to take my word for it,
All right, now, let's all go in the house and have a slug of tea. Put the car in the garage, McGee.
Oh, I can't. I'm too nervous. Can't you do it?
Good heavens, no, not after just one lesson.
I'll put your car away for you, McGee. Is the key in it?
Yeah, thanks, Latrivia. But if you don't...
Oh, now, don't worry. I know how to drive.
Okay, pal.
Heavenly days. Why, he went right through the back of the garage. Are you hurt, Mr. Mayor?
No, I'm all right. And You can tear up that citation, McGee. Your accelerator does stick.
Well, what do you know? It's the first time I'd ever done that. Ladies and gentlemen, we have all been asked again to buy victory bonds, but we don't know why anybody has to be asked.
Because investing $3 to get 4 is really a favor to ourselves. Buying security for us and our families and preventing a ruinous inflation would seem to be simple common sense.
Of course, if you feel that the care of our wounded and the rehabilitation of our fighting men, the protection of the families of those who lost their lives is important, those are pretty good reasons, too.
Yes, it might even be said that the USA holds your IOU.
Good night.
Good night, all.
November 13th, 1945, Fibber McGee and Molly here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Now on Classic Radio Theater, listen closely. This next quarter hour going back to November 13th, 1937. An episode of Speed Gibson of the International Secret Police to hear Elliot Lewis, Gail Gordon, Howard McNear, and more great voices here on Classic Radio Theater.
Gibson of the International Secret Police.
Ceiling zero, ceiling zero, ceiling zero, ceiling zero, ceiling zero.
Now that Speed, Clint, Barney, and Bob Gilmore are all at Dr. Kingsley's, the Octopus launches a final attack to wipe out the most important members of the International Secret Police. He does not know that the boys are holding Quan Wu, his right-hand man, prisoner inside the house, and Wu is unable to warn his master that the police suspect that something is up because the telephone wires leading to the doctor's house have been cut. When Clint learns this, he sends Bob Gilmore out to tell the Hong Kong police guard in the garden to send for reinforcements in case of a possible attack. The Octopus gangsters have already overcome the guard, however. Bob is knocked unconscious, and the Octopus, directing the attack in person, sends his men into the house by means of a secret passage. Speed and Jean, seeing them enter, hasten down the secret passage to warn Clint of the danger, since the gangsters are blocking the stairway. At the head of the passage, Speed comes face to face with a masked man. The Octopus in person.
Oh, Speed! Don't let him touch me!
Don't worry, Jean. I'll protect you.
I have no time to waste with children. Get back up the secret passage, Speed Gibson, ahead of me.
You mean you're going to follow us?
It is not a question of following you. You are my prisoner.
Master!
Yes, Lou?
We have conquered our enemies! What is to be done with them?
I shall come immediately. Do nothing until then. Now, Speed Gibson, back into the secret passage.
Come on, Jean. And don't be afraid.
I can't help but be afraid, Speed. Alone in this passage with the Octopus.
Enough talk. Hurry along, you two. I am most anxious to meet my enemy, Clint Barlow, face to face.
So, we're going to see the Octopus at last, then?
If we only had some way of getting word to Li Ying at the police station. This would be a swell time to round up this Octopus gang. I think they're all in this house.
Oh, no, Barney. The Octopus would never concentrate his forces all in one spot.
What do you think the outcome of this will be, Clint?
I don't think that the Octopus will show any mercy, Dr. Kingsley. May as well be frank about it. He considers me a deadly enemy, and will only be too glad to get me out of the way. The worst of it is that you, Gene, and Speed are in this mess, too.
Say, where are them kids? They went upstairs before all this excitement started.
Well, perhaps they escaped.
Not a chance. This house is surrounded by Octopus men. His spies must have slipped through the police lines to cut the telephone wires. And then the police were silently done away with, and we were the next.
Yeah, when all that shooting started with the lights out, I didn't know what had happened.
Yeah, it's a lucky thing they were out. Some of us wouldn't be talking now. Well, where the dickens is Speed?
Look, Clint, in the doorway.
Speed and Gene.
And the Octopus.
Clint, we tried to warn you. By way of the secret passage, so we met the Octopus.
So I see, Gene.
So, you are Clint Barlow.
As if you didn't know, Eight-Face.
And your attempt at humor brands you as Barney Dunlap.
That's right. Now, supposing we break up this guessing game and you take off your mask so we can see who you are.
No, he won't do that, Barney. Even now, when we're his prisoners, the Octopus wouldn't have the courage to unmask.
Still playing for time, Barlow, eh? Still hoping that I might slip up on some small detail that might save your life.
Not exactly, Octopus. But I have some curiosity as to what sort of face is behind that black mask.
You seem to dislike my mask. And yet you disguise yourself by makeup, Barlow.
Well, how do you know, Octopus? Have you seen me in the past? You know how I really look?
I have never seen you as you really are, Barlow.
Yes, but I've seen you, and that's why you wear a mask, so that I won't recognize you.
I advise you to forget your attempted police work, Barlow. You and the others are completely in my power. You have no chance of escape. Make the most of life while you have it.
Oh,
You
Dad.
dirty rat. Let me get my hands on you.
Stay where you are, men. Don't be foolhardy, Barney Dunlap. One wrong move, and you'll never make another.
Talk's cheap, old devilfish. Call off those armed lapdogs of yours, and let's see how many moves you'd make before I got a good grip on your neck.
Pipe down, Barney.
Huh?
I said pipe down. That sort of talk isn't going to help any.
Very true, Clint. Is there anything you'd like to say before...
Yes. I have a request to make, Octopus.
A request from a prisoner?
Well, I think that I have a right to make this request. You and I have been playing a game for a long time, Octopus. Now, I would stop at nothing to make you my prisoner, and you'd rather capture me than any other man in the world.
You are right, Barlow. Capture you and destroy you.
Clint!
Now, take it easy, Speed.
Oh, Clint, the octopus can't hurt you.
There, honey. Now, it's for these that I speak, Octopus. We are enemies, old enemies. And since I have lost, well, I must take the consequences. My little Gene, Speed, and Dr. Kingsley will give them their freedom.
You amuse me, Barlow.
Amuse you?
Yes. Do you think that I would free your nephew so that he could carry on where you left off? You forget that Speed Gibson has been directly involved in frustrating my plan several times.
You refuse my request, then?
Pity has never been a weakness of mine, Barlow, and it is your greatest fault. That is why I have conquered you at last.
Let me at him. I'll tear him apart.
Gee, it's sure brave to sock a fellow when his hands are tied.
It's all right, kid. I'm saving up all those socks, and I'll take 'em out of that guy's hide yet.
Enough of these empty words. Line the secret police and their friends up along the wall that holds the Chinese gong.
Oh, Octopus, I beg of you. Have pity on my little girl.
No, Dr. Kingsley. You had your warning, but did not heed it. Those who travel with the secret police must suffer the consequences. Get up to the wall.
What's he gonna do, Clint?
I don't know, Speed. That devil has no heart. But whatever happens, remember you're a member of the International Secret Police, and meet your fate like a man.
It ain't gonna happen. Bob will bring reinforcements in the nick of time. Wait and see.
You are wrong, Barney. We stopped Gilmore in the garden. Definitely stopped him. Now, up against the wall, all of you.
Here, Gene, keep hold of my hand.
Oh, Daddy, I'm so afraid.
Don't be scared, Gene. See, I'm right beside you.
You, Clint, stand a little away from the others.
Why?
I want the extreme pleasure of dealing with you personally.
You fiend.
You misjudge me, Doctor. To show that I am not altogether heartless, I will allow you all a half hour more to talk to one another. It will amuse me.
Ying! Where's Li Ying?
Who are you?
Never mind. Where's Ying? I must see him.
What is going on? Bob Gilmore,
Yeah.
is that really you?
Yes, Ying. I came for reinforcements. The whole Octopus gang has trapped Clint and the others at Dr. Kingsley's house.
Oh.
We've got to get back, or it'll be too late.
The Octopus gang at Kingsley?
Yes.
Sergeant, call every available man in the police department. Get them into cars, well armed. Let me know the minute you all are ready.
Yes, Mr. Ying.
Here, Bob. Come in here. Let me tell you a little more about it.
We got to get back. We can't stay here.
But we shall as soon as the men are ready to go, but I must know more about the setup, Bob. Tell me everything as briefly as possible while I tend to the bad cut on your head.
No, it's just a scalp wound, that's all. There's no time to waste on that. Clint suspected that something was up. When Quan Ru arrived at the doctor's, then we learned that the phone wires had been cut, so Clint arrested Wu.
Yes, Quan Wu. I've suspected him for some time, but we had no direct proof, you know.
Well, Clint ordered me to report to the police guard in the garden with an order for the captain to send for reinforcements. After I got out in the garden, however, I realized that the man I started to talk to wasn't an officer at all.
Oh.
I started to question him, and that's the last thing I remember.
The Octopus gang replaced every one of our men, huh?
Exactly. Evidently, they thought they'd finished me, too. But when I came to, the garden was deserted, but there was shooting inside the house, which was completely dark. I knew that our only chance was to get more police on the scene, so I came here as quickly as I could. There's a guard outside the garden wall, but just a small one. I had no trouble slipping past them. Then I was lucky enough to meet a rickshaw boy, and he brought me here.
Good work, Bob. Good work. Now, you will stay here while we go back to clean up the Octopus gang, yes?
What do you mean? Stay here at the police station? I should say not. I'm going back and get that fellow that slugged me.
You will never make it, Bob. You will pass out in the middle of the excitement.
Not me. Say, I've been hit on the head so much in the last few weeks that I'm getting used to it. Just try and keep me here.
All right, Bob. Come along, then. Oh, one moment. Hello? Hello? Oh, Sergeant. Store plenty of tear gas bombs in the cars. Yes, tear gas. That is right. And notify all police substations to stand by in case of emergency calls. I think we can handle this mob easily, but I do not want to risk losing one of them. Yes, that's right. Thank you.
That's fine. Are the men almost ready?
Just about, but before we go, Bob, let me tie this clean handkerchief around your wound. You won't be quite so gory.
Oh, thanks ever so much.
No,
Ying.
hold still. Yes. Now there you are. Let's see now. Oh, here's a revolver.
Oh, thanks again. I'll need that. The Octopus mob must have taken mine.
This is a crucial moment, Bob. Either the Octopus will be driven out of Hong Kong, or he will be stronger than ever in power. We cannot lose.
Well, I only hope that we're not too late to save Clint and the others.
I hope not. Yes?
Men are ready to go, Mr. Ying.
Good. Come, Bob. We have some important work to do at 14 Lang Su Road.
Elliot Lewis, Gail Gordon, who played the Octopus, and you also heard Clint Barlow, played by Howard McNear. Speed Gibson of the International Secret Police, November 13th, 1937, here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Thank you so much for making us a part of your day. Please make a note of our webpage, classicradio.stream. At classicradio.stream, you can stream all of our Classic Radio Theater programs on demand. You can learn about building a classic radio collection of your own. You can find lists of podcast sites that have our shows available, so you can download them and listen to them on the go. You also can find our social media links, and it's very important that you follow those social media links if you're on the Twitter machine or on the Book of Faces. That way you can always keep up to date with what's going on with Classic Radio Theater. I do some polls occasionally, ask questions. You can contact me, and if you want to help this show expand, want to help us expand our collection, you want to help us, most importantly, keep this show up and running, buy me a coffee. That's at classicradio.stream. Classicradio.stream. Thanks for tuning in. Tell all your friends the great radio shows are right here at this spot on the dial. Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox on your favorite station.